Hello humans! Still no second part of my Magic the Gathering Theros series just yet, because I'm a little bit stuck for time this week and I'd like to actually put a little bit of thought into it. Instead of doing that, this vlog is going to be on witches, because seriously, I have a problem. This may actually become a semi-regular thing on the channel, and I'm thinking of calling it, let me introduce you to the concept of TED. TED is going to stand for Too Easily Distracted, and will be very different from certain other TED videos that can be found on the internet. Very, very different. Basically, these videos will just be stuff that I've thought way too much about in the previous week, because I do that a lot. Like, a lot. It's all I do. My family and friends hate me. There's this thing that's been mentioned in a couple of TV shows and stuff where they say that a traditional coven of witches is 13 witches, but that doesn't seem right to me. I don't know, somehow in my head it's 3 witches. It feels like witches come in 3s. And I looked it up, and apparently this 13 to a coven thing kind of only became a popularized idea in the 1920s, which seems like a late period for traditional witchcraft to be put together. So I guess that's sort of more modern Wicca stuff. And I don't know, maybe witches didn't come in 3s in folklore or anything like that. Maybe it's just Macbeth messing with my brain. Speaking of Macbeth, I went back and read it because of this like brain bug. It's like an earworm, but it's a brain bug. And I got to the double toil and trouble part, and I mean, I knew all the like wool of bat, tongue of dog stuff. Like, there are some cool witchy classic ingredients for that particular spell, but then it's got some really weirdly specific stuff. Like, I think one of the ingredients has to be the finger of a baby that has just been born but that died of strangulation but was born to a prostitute in a ditch. Like, that seems really specific and difficult to get. So at first I was like, well, that better be one powerful spell, and then my cousin Melissa said, well, not if they force prostitutes to give birth in a ditch and then strangle the babies themselves, which worries me. Also, how cool is the concept of a witch's familiar? That's just so flippin' cool. The Weird Sisters, apparently, one of them had a cat named Grey Malkin, which is just a good name for a cat, and one had a toad named Paddock, and then the third one had a familiar named Harpier, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Some people suggest that it was an owl, and one person I think suggested it was a hedgehog, which would be cool. I want a hedgehog. Or a rhino. I would like a rhino familiar. Actually, no, a big scary parrot, and I would name it Scrooge. So this is a scary, scary window into what my brain is like. What has been stuck on your mind this week if you're as obsessive as I am? What would your familiar be? Answer all the questions in the comments and hit all the other buttons while you're down there, because they're conveniently placed around the video. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. I need an ending. Today we finally talk about the life and times of the great Heracles.